Hello and welcome back to The Wargamer. In this video I'm going to be showing you how you can paint the Vine Wardens from Frostgrave Ghost Archipelago, and I'll be using the Army Painter range of paints to do so. The first task in painting your miniature is to prime it, and you can actually save yourself some time later on by doing some pre-shading at this stage. Now pre-shading is very easy to do. First of all, take a black primer and prime the entirety of the miniature. Once that has been done, you can then take a white primer and then spray it from above. This will catch the top layers and leave the darker black visible in the recesses, creating the effect of shading without even having to do any painting. Now this step is entirely optional, you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but it will save you some time later on in the video. Once priming has been achieved, the first task is to paint the skin. Now the base coat we're going to be going for here is one of oak brown. Now I would highly recommend watering down your paint in order to make the most of the pre-shading that we did in the previous step. So roughly 1 part paint to 2 parts water should suffice. And we're applying this over all of the bare skin areas. If you find that this first layer isn't covering completely, then you can apply a second layer over the top, allowing the first layer to dry completely before you do so. With the base coat completed, we can now begin highlighting the skin. Now I'm going to be spending a little bit more time on the skin areas as this will be a focal point. So I want to use some leather brown to pick out some of the raised facial features such as the cheeks, the nose and around the mouth as well. Now I would highly recommend watering down this mixture to improve the flow of the paint and give you better control. So roughly 1 part paint to 1 part water mixture should suffice. The final step in painting the skin is to do a very fine highlight of tanned flesh around the lips of the miniature. The next area of the miniature that I'll be tackling will be the green cloth, and for this I'll be using Commando Green. Now you want to create a mixture of 1 part paint to 1 part water for this step because it will really take advantage of the pre-shading that we did at the priming step of this miniature. By using a thinner version of this paint, you'll easily be able to see the lighter and darker areas of the cloth. The next area of the miniature to paint will be the yellow areas, and for this we want to use Daemonic Yellow. Again, create that mixture of 1 part paint to 1 part water and really take advantage of the transitions that we've already got between the lighter and darker areas. The next area of this miniature that I'll be painting will be the cream coloured areas. This includes the linen undershirt, and for this I'll be base coating using Banshee Brown. The next area that I'll be turning my attention to in this tutorial will be the leather areas, and for this we want to base coat them using Dirt Spatter. Now this includes the leather jacket but also any straps and belts that there may be on the miniature. In this next step I'll now be painting the green bag using Angel Green. Now don't forget to thin down your paints as we still want to see that darker colouring coming through from the recesses. The next area of this Vine Warden that I'll be painting will be the wooden areas. Now this includes the staff but also the handle on the sickle, and we want to create a light wooden effect here, so I'll be base coating using Monster Brown. With the wooden areas of the miniature completed, the next step is to start painting the hair, and for this I'll be using Hardened Carapace. Now again, make sure you thin down your paint and this will give us a really nice dark brown colouring for use on the hair. Now that we've completed all of the non-metallic areas, we can start base coating the metallic areas of the miniature. So I'm going to be starting off by painting some of the silver areas using plate mail metal, and this includes the necklace and also some of the bangles that adorn the miniature. Continuing with some of the metallic areas, I'll now be painting the gold adornments using Greedy Gold. Now when painting with metallics, be careful how you apply them, as if you overspill onto other areas of the miniature, it can be quite difficult to paint over metallic paints once you've made that mistake. With all of the base coats completed, we can now start applying some washes to our miniature. Now this will not only pool into those recesses and help to enhance the shading that we already have, but also give some better depth of colour. The first wash that I'll be applying will be of mid-brown, and I'll be applying this to the lighter colourings on this miniature. This includes the yellow and green areas that we've painted in some of the previous steps. Next up we have another wash, but this time we're going to be using Strong Tone ink, and I'll be applying this to any of the brown areas on the miniature. This includes the staff, the leather jerkin, and also the skin as well. The final wash to apply to this miniature is to the silver metallic areas, and this time I'll be using Dark Tone ink. The final step in painting our Vine Warden is an optional one, and this is to apply some highlights to the very edges of the areas that we've already painted. Now these highlights will serve to enhance the details, and we're going to be creating these by mixing in the original base coat colour with a small amount of white paint. Roughly 2 parts original colour to 1 part white paint should suffice. Then you can apply them along the edges of these raised areas using a very thin brush, and this will just serve to enhance some of the details. However, this is an entirely optional step and you can stop at this stage before progressing on, and you'll still have a really great looking miniature. And here we have the completed Vine Warden. Now you can find a full list of paints used in this video in the description below, along with some links to both my Facebook and Instagram pages. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and also give me your suggestions for future tutorials in the comments section below. And finally, I just want to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. It's you guys who make these videos possible. Now if you're also interested in supporting me in producing these tutorials, you can do so by checking out the link in the description, which will take you to my Patreon page. From there you can donate to me from as little as $1 a month, which just really help me in producing future content. So all that's left to say is thanks for watching and goodbye.